So I've got some bad news on the double jeopardy clause. The Supreme Court of the United States has actually refused to overturn a precedent known as dual sovereignty, the dual sovereignty doctrine. And that doctrine is essentially that both the states and the federal government can have laws against something and criminalize it, and both of those entities are free to litigate an issue and prosecute you over something, even if ultimately it refers to the same offense, right? So that's a challenge because the state can punish you for something or attempt to punish you, and then the federal government gets another crack at it to try to punish you over that same exact same offense potentially. And yeah, this is one of these legal hazards that's just evolved into a big bunch of opinion, and yeah, big trouble because you don't want to be tried twice for the same crime. But that's just the state of things in our nation right now. Nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. This takes the form of your standing trial for an alleged crime, and they're trying to summon you as a witness and grill you and say, "Hey, you gotta tell us that you did this." Um, you could say that yeah, I did it. You got me. Good job. But they can't actually compel you to do so. They can't force you to cooperate as a witness against yourself. And this actually does happen. There's a mechanism that they do this with. I'm going to cover it in another video. Nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. This is huge because governments are actually routinely in the habit of depriving people of liberty and property specifically, and in some cases even life, without due process of law. Abortions, by the way, would be an issue of due process. You're condemning a baby to die that is actually viable. That's deprivation of life without due process of law. Liberty, people get deprived of liberty without due process anytime, for example, they're denied a jury trial or aren't given the assistance of counsel. And property, likewise, whenever you have a confiscatory tax or non-tax, like inflation and so on, that's just the federal government taking away their property in a manner not pursuant to any enumerated tax that's actually in the Constitution, any tax power or purpose that is enumerated there. Nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. This right here, in addition to the due process clause, is the basis of my petition to the Supreme Court because I was pulled over. I'm going to explain this in another video here in just a minute, but and it's about insurance mandates. The government requires you to purchase something. They say you have to spend this money. That is appropriation of private property for public use, and there's no just compensation that's being given back. So a little bit more on the Fifth Amendment.